G'day guys, as you already know, my name is Lord Tomo, and welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog toy item collectible review. As you already know, this isn't Sonic the Hedgehog, it is the Samurai Claw Megazord from the infamous Power Rangers series. Something else that I'm mostly into as well besides Sonic, which is always pretty cool. But as you can tell, we're going to be we're not actually going to review this. We're going to put this guy aside. Here we are, the star of the show. Here we go, Sonic the Hedgehog. So adorable. Funny enough, I went through my reviews and my past reviews that have yet to actually make a review of any plushies. Admittedly, I haven't collected a whole bunch of them, but I figured why not, start off with the infamous Sonic the Hedgehog plushie, which is this one. Now, but this isn't the complete, obviously, story or complete version of this guy. Hey, look, he's trying to flap his wings. So we're going to actually review the Sonic the Hedgehog plush from Treasure Inc. So we're going to put this guy aside. We'll talk about this guy a little later and go to the actual cousin of his. This is, oh my god, it's exactly the same. There's a box though. This is exactly the same as the one that I have in all my videos, more or less, depending on which plushie I just choose to pick up. So let's talk a little bit about the box before we talk about the actual plushie itself, because it's always nice to have a little back history of what's going on. As you can tell, this is obviously the complete version. So everything that you're seeing in this video is pretty much, if you're a collector of course, is what's meant to more or less come with it. This is obviously Sonic the Hedgehog just sitting down his cute little butt on this little, I guess, cardboard plateau that is his kingdom. At the very front part, you have obviously what it is. It's Talking Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's from a company called Treasure Inc. I'm not entirely sure if you could see, well, maybe you could see it. Yeah, Treasure Inc. It's got a picture of I guess a purse. Well, I don't know. It looks like a bra to me, to be honest. Look. It looks like a bra going into a treasure chest. Could be wrong though, but that is the actual company that developed this Treasure Inc., which I'm not too sure if they're in manufacture now, but yeah. This item was more or less released in 1993-4, if I'm not mistaken, thereabouts. I don't have the exact date, so if anybody knows, by all means, you can hit me up with the correct info. So the actual design of the box is predominantly purple, which isn't the most best color in my opinion, in conjunction with obviously Sonic the Hedgehog. I guess it kind of blends in if you look at it like that, which I have it as a display piece, but overall it's not very outstandish. You do have obviously the classic Sonic the Hedgehog pose, and you have a little description over there. Try me, squeeze my tummy. He does have an interesting little gimmick, which I do find extremely adorable in its own right. There have been various other Sonic the Hedgehog toys, or actually recently Sonic toys that if you press the tummy it has sound effects. This is obviously the one from years ago. I'm also going to review the ones that are in the current future too. At the bottom there's absolutely nothing. It is just cardboard standard. On the side you have obviously what it is, which is Try Me, Squeeze My Tummy, Talking Sonic the Hedgehog, and you obviously have what it is there. At the back you have obviously other little info there. You just have the exact same, I guess, images, but reshaped in various different, I guess, backing. And you obviously have at the very bottom the company. See, do you see what I mean? It does look like a bra to me. I don't know, could be wrong. And you obviously have the what it is. It tells you can wash it. It has a washable surface, but obviously you don't put it in dry because it has electronic mechanical aspects which will damage it. So there's that, and the side is exactly the same. So overall the box is decent. It's not my favorite, to be honest. I just can't get a good vibe out of it. The piece itself is awesome, admittedly. Just the actual, I guess, overallness of it doesn't look all that impressive. But that's the actual item. Now this is obviously mint condition. It's in its original box, and it's held by, he's actually being tied against the box by this little plastic swindle thing. But that's what it is. But it's exactly the same as this. It's exactly the same. Obviously I got this one without a box. This one came with a box because I wanted it. So we're going to put that aside and get straight to the actual Sonic the figurine itself. Now overall it's got a nice little feel to it. It really does. It's got a little furry effect to it. Now I did check the other one as well, and it does, I wouldn't say it is inherited for, but one of the major complaints, or more of a nitpick than anything else, is if you look at the actual arm there, it doesn't have its filling throughout the whole thing. It just has it, all this part and forward, and it's very solid, very fillable and whatnot. And obviously over here it's pretty flimsy, pretty loose. It doesn't have any cottons there, which is, as a kid, or I suppose, would be annoying. Even to me, like I said, I do use it to just grab it from the bin and just make him fly, which is pretty rough. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a nitpick, but it's, I guess, more of an observational thing than anything else. He only has 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers, no thumbs. This is a weird looking Sonic. His shoes are very mundane. It's very standard. It's, mind you, this is obviously designed for kids, so I'm not going to go too heavy on the actual detail. It is a plain Sonic the Hedgehog back on the actual 90s, which is depicted on the actual little tag on his neck, which we'll get into a little shortly. So it is alright. I would have preferred, a little more detail, but look, it's decent. I'm not going to complain. If you look at the back, you have his little tail, which is obviously adorable, and you have obviously a little tag there, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, proprietary, so which is decent, alright. And it obviously tells you at the other side of. It's funny because this was actually copyrighted in 1997. So I'm going to start. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this was actually manufactured in 1997. Could be 1993, 4, or 1997. I'm going to lean to 1997 because the tag tends to tell the truth. His spike is an interesting. Now, it's always been an interesting thing for plushies, for Sonic characters anyway, how they actually more implemented. There have been various design. This has been one of the design. Having 3 Sonic spikes, or laser spikes, kind of like material, dividing it by 3, which is okay. It does the impact. It does have the nice effect. It just doesn't look that over proportion. I'm not a fan of this. I can see how it works. It does look good, provided that you have it evenly. But eventually it's going to be like that. So it looks like he's going to have a comb over, spine, which is alright. But you can play around with it. You can't really blame him as much. There has been a different version of this, which has similar to this, but we had like a Tails, which has like a fringe version of this. It's not bad. It's just I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. At the very top is just the more thing, and you do have his adorable little ears. You got his nice smirk, which is absolutely impressive. I do love that. Very harmonious to the whole retroness of Sonic there. Very nice smirk. He's got a little decent sized nose, actually well done, and his actual eyes is very, very standard to the toys that were released back then, or the I guess mass produced versions of them, which is obviously cute there in its own right. Now, before I get to the gimmick, I'm just going to talk loosely. The actual unit itself is held by, well, not unit itself, but the actual plushie itself is held by a little I don't know what it is, plastic thing connected by a sleeve. So this is a little cardboard. So if you would open it up, I'll see, there you go. You can pause it if you want to, read through it. But briefly, hi, my name is Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm the blue superhero Hedgehog with an attitude that's been provided hours of enjoyment of video games, etc, etc, etc. So if you want to read it, you can pause it and go through there. Yeah, so it's alright. It's just a little extra gimmick. Now, the actual gimmick of this, both of them do it, is a talking Sonic the Hedgehog. He only has one voice clip, and I'll bring it in close so you can hear it. I think his speaker's at the back. Okay, he's sounding more demonic as it is. The battery in this is dying, so it has been a while. But more or less, if you paid more or less attention, he says the word Sega, or Sega, how it normally was pronounced in the actual video games. When you have the actual boot up game, it goes ding ding ding, or Sega. So it's kind of him saying Sega in a very fast pace. Okay, now he just sounds demonic. We have a demonic Sonic the Hedgehog, guys. Jesus, we're all going to be doomed. The fastest demon alive. Woo! And he's flapping his wings. So it is an interesting gimmick. I wouldn't go too wild over it. It's nothing impressive. The new ones that have been released of this, obviously different molds, different things, which once I get them in the post, I'll review them, of course. They have different sound effects. I'm not entirely sure what those sound effects are, but they are different, which is quite impressive in its own right, I suppose. But yeah, this is the actual Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. It is a nice thing. Now, I got this as standalone. I think I got this one for about, I think it was $15 standalone. I picked this one up, obviously in its complete form, for about, I'd say for about maybe $60 at the time, which was a decent catch. I just have it as a display piece, pretty adorable. When people come over and they pick it up, they're like, oh, how adorable, which is pretty nice. So I got them both, for thereabouts. I got this one just for obviously making videos and whatnot, rocking his head like a little demonic hipster. But yeah, that's that. So it is a nice, obviously, catch. As far as rarity, look, either one of them do pop up either or. Obviously, this one has a lower form of rarity, maybe 1 side of 10. It does pop up, don't get me wrong. This one, not as often, but it does. So I'll probably give this maybe 4 4.5 stars out of 10. It does pop up, and when it does pop up, you know, if you're into plushies and whatnot, it's a nice catch, it's a nice collectible, so I'll probably pick it up, you know. I don't have a crazy amount of plushie collections out there. I tend to keep my ones very limited. I'm more of a, I do have a whole heap, I just will gradually review them. So that's that. Obviously the company has made mention is Hedgehog. And guys, I do hope, you know, these guys are trying to share the spotlight, you know. I'm going to put you on top. Daddy Sonic over Baby Sonic. Ugh. That's pretty weird-ish. Move your hand, Sonic. Move your hand. Hand! And guys, I do hope you enjoyed this and obviously the review. If you request more plushies reviews, look, let me know. I'm more than happy to do it. And guys, catch you later and peace out. Speed on.